Happy New Year, everybody. It is 2022, so let's start it off with some fun. I'm going to start doing free content for my YouTube every once in a while, mostly just for fun, and to give some ideas out there for me, because I have nothing going on to brainstorm for. So to get ready for a best of one format, as I expect it to be coming up for a bit, because we got webcams. I prepared some best of one decks. I'm going to give both, as I do this kind of series of stuff, I'm going to do a mixture of what I'm going to call a golden age and then modern age, depending on whatever they call it, because we don't know. We saw them introduce, if you're familiar with what Bandai's done, they've been doing like block formats on occasion, so I don't have a clue what they're going to do, but I want to be prepared for both. If I haven't mentioned it before, down here I'm going to have a little link for my Whatnot. Check it out. It'll be a link to download the app. If you're not familiar with Whatnot, it is the greatest thing ever. It's kind of like TikTok for cards. It gives you $10 for signing up if you spend $10, so that part's awesome. I get a few bucks if you sign up and actually buy something. But you'll see crazy deals on high-end cards that are not for collectors, because it's primarily a collector channel. So you'll see some crazy deals on there. I just saw a Baby Hatch SCR go for $50, and I was really annoyed because I saw it go, and I was like in the process of bidding, and sudden death happened. And I was like, oh, they don't know. Baby Hatch is so valuable. But it's a cool cracking channel and stuff when packs are rare and just something to do. Anyway, this is the deck that I want to play for best of one. It is Brawly. This is a budget build. We could make it a lot more expensive. We could do all kinds of stuff, but honestly, we don't have to. You guys all know the leader, Brawly Surge. He takes advantage of comboing with a red or a green card. This is relevant because I thought about throwing in a little bit more black cards to take advantage of his effect after the fact for the once per turn. But effectively, he's a +1 leader. A +0 leader in many ways on both turns, so you can protect your life when your opponent swings one time per turn without losing a life, and then on your turn you can combo for free to try to get in damage. It's very relevant because this deck is only trying to go to turn 2 or turn 3. You'll notice it is a budget build, so I didn't include the Kai SCR. That's actually what this Demon Awakens is, so bring that in. The cost of the deck goes up by $200, defeats the whole purpose, but it does make it better. I'll be running it with that, but you don't have to. It's just a really good card if you've ever played with Pan. Sorry, not Kai. All right, so the basic function of this deck is we want to take our own life to self-awaken, and we want to go first. In best of one, going first is way more valuable than in other formats. In best of 3, sometimes it's better to go second, so you can kind of get a feel for what your opponent's trying to set up, take some time, steal the initiative eventually, like on turn 4 or 5, and then win, and then, going into game 2, they'll get to go first again, but that's okay because you have your sideboard cards, and then you can guarantee that game 3, you can go first once you know the matchup. Best of 1 is not like that. Best of 1, we just want to get there with a win. And if we get there by 5K, if we get there by 10K, it doesn't matter. We just got to push it in to get the win. This deck functions exactly like my old versions of Brawly Surge, except for we're abusing a little bit more of the combo step. And thanks to Dane, we collaborated on this list a little bit. I realized with Sun Goten is the primary card we've always used with Brawly Surge. We can use King Vegeta's Dynasty now, and the cool part about this is now it's another Surge target to awaken. So on our turn 2 or on our turn 3, we're going to have 2 bonus energy. That's relevant because we are going to have, especially if we go for that kill on turn 2, we're going to have a total of 5 energy, and our opponent will have only had, if we're going for it on turn 2, they'll have 1 energy. So they've only had 1 energy. So our odds of killing them is very high at that point. So I'm going to show you a few of the cards, why we talk about it. This is a quick video. It's probably going to be 15 minutes because almost all the cards are the same thing. You're going to notice lots of ways of taking our own life. We have Trunks and Kaba. These are the second thing you guys want to attack at with. Never the first if you can avoid it, but these are very good cards. So both of them are 1 red. You're always going to have red as your charge. You can put down green if you ever have to because you have nothing else in your hand, but the odds of that is very rare. With this, you want to just take a life when you attack with it, and you'll give your card double strike. even if your opponent negates the attack, we still want to take the life because our leader's ability on the Surge side awakens when we're at 3 or less life, and in my opinion is one of the strongest Surge mechanics in the game. You probably can't read it because I don't have it zoomed in very much, but you can KO anything, ignoring barrier, always a good effect once per turn, or the better ability is you can combo from the drop one time, and then the leader gains double strike. We're always going to want to combo a super combo who draws 2 and then removes 1 from the game. So it's a +1 when we awaken with our leader. It's very strong, so we want to get that as quick as possible. That being said, you'll notice we also have a new addition. If you guys have been playing Bardock Crew, this is a pretty good take a life card to set up a future kill turn. He says that when you deal a damage with him and you take a life, he gets a +1,000. So he's only going to be 15,000. I just learned I can click on this. That's cool. But more importantly, you can play a Bardock's Crew with a cost of 1. That's not going to happen very often in this deck. You're basically going to hit this card, maybe the Bardock. The whole point of this is actually just to do the switch it to active mode. We could throw in a bunch of targets for this. We're not going to. We really just want to make him go untapped so nobody else can attack him. So the following turn, this card will stay on the board and attack again. That's the whole purpose of using him. But our main guy that we want to attack with in the beginning of the game is the best card in the game if you play red, for me at least. It's Intensifying Power Trunks. He is take a life, he gains critical, plus 10k, so he's a 15k for 1 energy with critical. As you guys know, if you're trying to go fast, critical is very relevant. What you'd like to do in most turns is actually just drop him turn 1 and then pass the turn. You drew a card, you don't draw, it's turn 1. So you're just sitting there, you've got now 4 cards in hand, I believe, and you have Intensifying Trunks, you pass the turn, your opponent will likely attack you. If you want to, you can combo out of it. But the important part is, on your turn 2, you're then going to have exactly enough cards where you can combo with Son Goten, put this King Vegeta in the drop, untap your energy, draw a card, draw for your leader. So we're going to be at probably about 6 life because we probably took the first attack. And then we're going to play Champa with that untapped energy, giving him double strike. And because we've comboed, it's a 25k double strike critical, and we have all of our energy untapped. That's a big deal because once they go to 6, this deck activates. Now, I know that sounds crazy because it is a little crazy. The reason why it's so powerful when they're at 6 life is we're going to hit them one more time with some cards like Kaba or this right here. We want to get them down to 5 or just straight down to 4 and start the beatings happening. We're going to use our Defending Father Paraguses, and we are not going to care about comboing. Generally speaking, on turn 2, most decks don't want to combo. They want to keep a big hand. They want to get it very big. We're trying to gut shot our opponent and end it very quickly. And Intensifying Trunks giving us that double strike is the best thing we can do. Beerus also has the other ability on him that he can KO a battle card that's 20k or less. If you're familiar with it, it doesn't really matter. That being said, we also have a little bit of like tech cards. You're not always going to be able to go super fast. I want to go super fast, but sometimes you've got to play slower. So if you'll see in this list, we have 2 after images. That's primarily there because sometimes we just got to stay alive. Some people could just be playing some weird mechanics. If you're playing against decks like Gogeta, we can't just throw out a 1-drop on our turn 1. We know that they're just going to remove it from the game with one of their many drops, so we have to play a little bit differently. This deck has a great matchup into Gogeta because Gogeta cannot manipulate energy very well. So if we go really fast, Gogeta Zeno can be a very hard deck for them, especially if we have multiple Trunks. So I like that a lot. A few other cards that are relevant. We see here we have an assortment of our Overrealm. You're going to draw a fair amount of cards with this deck. Son Goten with the leader ability is effectively a +2. With our super combo, that's a great filter card. And then when we want to, our leader does filter 2 cards to go underneath him and then draws 2. The reason why we have the different assortment is if you're going very fast, we want SS4. If our opponent is playing a lot of blockers or a lot of effects because the game's gone later, Secret Identity is one of the best cards that we can have. And he's a big body, 25k, does a lot of effects. And then, of course, we got Son Goku, Man on a Mission, Double Strike and Critical, because if we're doing that intensifying power trunks, and then we swing with like a Bardock, it's a very, very powerful mechanic to then play this card once we get 6 cards in the drop. You'll notice there's no Champa. We don't need Champa in the deck because we've got Double Strike right here, we got Double Strike right here, and we've got Double Strike off this mechanic. And then, more importantly, our leader also gets Double Strike. If you want to throw in a Champa, it would not kill the deck, to say the least. But it's pretty cool. Crown of Retribution is to beat Yellow. Yellow's going to be your hardest deck you got to play against. And you're going to see it at least probably 2 rounds out of a 7-round tournament, if not more, especially after Duvall won not only Nationals, but Worlds with the deck. So a lot of people are going to want to play it. It's a very consistent deck. Crown is great for that matchup because we can steal a card from their hand if we do go a little bit slower. And we can actually see how much combo power they have. So if we want to go for the win, we can be like, all right, you can only get the 45k, you can only get the 60k, 70, whatever it is. And we have a little bit of a trick to do that. Because we're comboing so much in this game, we're going to play Supreme Kai. Now, if you're playing an aggro deck, this is a staple you should always run. This Supreme Kai gives you a bonus 5k whenever you have 5 or less cards in your hand. So you just start comboing. If you'll notice, there's not a lot of dead cards in this entire hand that you can have. You got 2 After Images, we've got 4 Go-Tens, 4 Dynasty, and 4 Champa. I believe that's it. So we have 10 targets. I suppose Demonic Awakens is the 11th. So we have 11 targets at worst that can clog up our hand, and we have ways of filtering them out. So pretty easy that we can combo our entire hand on that final attack. And Supreme Kai will let us do it very easily to get very big. If you're trying to kill your opponent on turn 2, you can only really do that with Supreme Kai. So you gotta look at your hand. You need multiple Supreme Kais. Luckily, like I said, if you're swinging with your leader, you can give him Double Strike and combo with a Paragus from your drop to help you increase your odds of drawing a Supreme Kai. But if you don't have any Supreme Kais, it's not a good idea to just dump 30k into your final swing and then be sitting there at 3 life, because you're going to lose. Better to sit back and hang out, even in best of 1. And that's kind of it. Like I said, this is a very, very basic deck, but it's very consistent. Try it out. Let me know what you think of it. And I want to say, does it give you a price anymore on DBS Deck Planet? I don't think it does. Okay, so this isn't the site that does it. I want to say this is about maybe a $25 deck right now with the current prices of stuff. You'll notice I needed a little bit of green for the Brawly Surge ability. So I threw in Brawly Omen of Evolution. I don't know anything about green cards anymore. I haven't played green in a long time. I tried playing it with Launch. It was fun. But I don't have a clue what to do for just green cards we can combo with. This is a cool one because we can blow up your opponent's combo area on the defense, just in case it ever matters or your opponent goes all in. Effectively, it's a 5k that could also become a 10k because you can blow up a 10k with it. So it's basically like matching power. That's the only reason I ran it. If there's another card that could be used for Brawly Surge, hopefully maybe in the next set they'll give us something that's just for him. That would be epic. I'm not playing any of the really expensive Brawly cards that came out of this set, just because I don't think they're that good. I think this is just a consistent, easy deck. I'm going to run a few untaps and show you guys the videos later. But that's it. Enjoy this best of 1 deck. And next time, I think I'm actually going to build Priest as one of my best of 1 decks to show you guys a block. And I'm just going to alternate between the 2. So like I said, check out the Whatnot. And if you guys need anything, hit me up. And let's keep talking about decks for the year. See you guys in 2022.